Hi everyone and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. So today's video is going to be a bit of a chatty one, although in saying that I'm trying to keep it on the shorter side because essentially I don't have that much to talk about. But this is a topic that might lean itself to like me getting very chatty, which I'm trying not to do, but yeah. This video is already like off to a good start because I'm rambling. Anyway, today's video is going to be trying to explain to myself actually why luxury wish lists don't really work for me. I did film a luxury wish list video back in 2020. That was my first year on YouTube. And then in 2021, I didn't film one in 2022. I mean, I could have easily. There's definitely a long list of items that I wouldn't mind adding to my collection, but the thing with me and wish lists, I realized, especially after last year, if you haven't watched my best and worst luxury purchases of 2022 video, I'm going to link to that up here and also in the description box below. If you haven't watched that, check that out after you're done with this video, but if you've watched it, you might know that I'm super happy with almost everything that I purchased last year, apart from the Louis Vuitton Sunnies, but those were definitely an impulse purchase and there's nothing wrong with them like inherently, but I prefer other sunglasses in my collection. But other than that, you know, for instance, that I purchased 3 luxury handbags last year and none of them were in any capacity on any kind of wish list or even like lust list. 2 of them, I guess, could fall in the impulse purchase kind of category. Those being my Saint Laurent Sac de Jour and my Saint Laurent Solferino. Both of them were purchased in the Mall Firenze outlet center close to Florence. And the other one was my Ferragamo Studio bag. What I'm trying to convey is none of them were on any kind of wish list. And I'm incredibly happy with all 3 handbags that I purchased. And that seems to be a running theme when it comes to me buying handbags. I mean, of course, when I purchased my Chanel Jumbo Classic Flap in 2019, that bag was definitely a bag that had been on my wish list for a pretty long time while I was saving up for me to actually be able to purchase the bag. But that is actually more of the exception than the norm because usually I kind of know what I like. So, for instance, take the Lady Dior. Adore the bag, but I've thought about that bag for so many years, so much so that I feel like I'm over the bag because of how much I thought about it. I hope that makes sense. So I tend to overthink items, and the longer I think about something, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm even more, increasingly more interested in purchasing the item. More often than not, I'm actually like, okay, if I've thought about an item for that amount of time and I still haven't been able to bring myself to purchase it, I shouldn't be purchasing it in the first place, I guess. So that ended up happening with the Lady Dior, apart from the fact that I know that some people might disagree with me. I think the Lady Dior is overpriced, especially considering that it doesn't hold its value. I'm not purchasing bags for their resale value, but it's an aspect that I at least somewhat take into consideration when it comes to buying handbags. Anyway, so this is such a rambly video. I'm sorry about that. By the way, I'm usually a little more concise with my thought process. So if this is your first time watching one of my videos, definitely check out my other videos. Consider subscribing if you like what you see. I talk about handbags, as you might be able to tell, but I cover a wide range of topics on here. I film unboxings, reviews, travel vlogs, shopping vlogs, the occasional high street fashion video thrown into the mix. So if that sounds like a thing, I would love for you to consider subscribing. But anyway, so what I'm trying to say is luxury wish lists don't really match with my way of deciding on whether I want to purchase something or not. And that's something I realized over time. I mean, while I like having something to work towards, the amount of time it takes for me to decide or save up for the item, chances are, sometimes I would have lost interest in that particular item that was on my list. I hope I'm making sense here. Also, take the last wishlist video that I filmed in, I think, September 2021. Apart from a Birkin, I'm going to get to that in a second, I wouldn't be able to tell you what I mentioned in that video. And I know some of you have like either mentally or in your notes app on your iPhone an ongoing list that you review like on a constant basis and add items on there and take items off. But yeah, for me, back when I filmed the 2021 video, I definitely had a mental list of items that I wanted to get at some point, but I think I wasn't like fully committed to the wish list idea even back then. So now I don't really work or like purchase on a wish list basis. I just buy what I like, and most of the time, like luckily for me, and it's definitely been a learning curve, most of the items that I purchase really work out for me. I wouldn't go as far as saying I'm an impulse purchaser, but if I like something or if I come across something, I know pretty early on, or basically almost immediately, if it's an item that will work out for me, that I'm happy to spend X amount of money on. And usually, like budget permitting, I just end up going for it. And that kind of approach really has been working out for me. So I don't really see the point of having a wish list when most of the time I'm actually like buying outside of my wish list. I hope I was able to get my point across, but I'm well aware that the luxury wish list concept is very popular and works out for a lot of you guys. So while I personally can't share like a broad wish list and show you a lot of eye candy in this video, I would love to know what you have on your luxury wish list. So if you don't mind and you have a couple of minutes to spare, go into the comment section under this video and let me know what you have on your luxury wish list. I would love to know. I mentioned that I was going to circle back on the topic of Hermès, especially Birkins. In both my luxury wish lists, like in 2020 and in 2021, I mentioned that I would love to own at some point, and I think I've also mentioned it in a couple of other videos, a Birkin 35 Cellier black, Epsom leather, gold hardware. That's still a dream bag of mine. I don't want to call it a wishlist bag because we've just established that wish lists don't really work for me, but yeah, no question about it, I would love to own an Hermès bag at some point. Since my wishlist videos, I've kind of broadened my spectrum of Hermès bags that I'd be interested in. I would love to own a Birkin 35 in black, no question about it. But I mean, the 35 is pretty big. I mean, I'm a tall girl, so the proportions work out on me, but I wouldn't be opposed to a 30 either. And I'm also somewhat interested in a Kelly, especially same with the Birkin in the Cellier style. I think, let me know if I might be wrong there. I think I heard somewhere that they decided to discontinue the Cellier style of the Birkin. They introduced it like 2-3 years ago. And I think I heard that they like stopped producing the Cellier style and went back to exclusively doing the Return style on the Birkin. Let me know if you have any information on that. But yeah, in general, I prefer the structured style, both on the Birkin, if that's even an option anymore, but also on the Kelly. Chances are I would also go for black if I had the choice. Like, let's face it, you don't really get the choice when it comes to Hermès. Black would be excellent, but also like gray colors. There's the, I think it's called Gris Mayer, something like that, or Gris Asphalt. I also adore, but I'd be really scared to wear like the color family of Nata, those off-white kind of shades. So to group the Hermès topic together, that's definitely still something that I have my eye on, that I would love to own at some point. If you were forcing me to create a wish list, a Kelly, a Birkin would definitely be on there. Plus, also maybe more Van Cleef jewelry. But I wouldn't go as far as saying that they're on my like wish list. Because, okay, another aspect that I don't think I conveyed earlier in the video, I don't have to put something on my wish list for me to be able to decide to purchase something. If I like something, doesn't matter if it's on my wish list or not. If everything else around it works out for me, I'm gonna buy it, regardless of whether it was on my wish list or not. So that begs the question, is a wish list even necessary if I purchase regardless of a wish list anyway? Hope that kind of makes sense. Anyway, so yeah, rambly video. I really hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Definitely let me know your thoughts on the whole idea of having a wish list versus maybe just buying what you like and not caring if something was added to your wish list before you're able to purchase it. I'd be really interested in hearing your thoughts about it. And as I mentioned, definitely share your wish list in the comments below if you have a wish list. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing, ring that little bell, and we're gonna see each other in my next video. Bye.